Hello and welcome to Security Talk, the third best, most infrequent show on the internet, followed by The Website is Down and Danoct1. This is episode I don't remember. Add my password to that and now we have a good name for a Security Talk video. So, kicking things off, we have some really interesting news this week, more like the week before, but you get my drift? Hopefully not getting my drift if you're the NASA Hubble telescope, but okay, let's do this. Sadly, Microsoft's Windows Internet Explorer is no longer the best browser to download another browser, especially not Chrome. Why is that? Well, that's because if you searched for Google Chrome, you would actually get a malicious advert that would lead you to a malware website. It was up for months, and Microsoft didn't notice it until there was a plethora of articles on the internet calling them out on this. The site was googleonline2018.com. As the name suggests, it's a horrible site. But if we try to access this domain right now, you will see it is down. So it seems like the IP address has been taken care of, but the damage is probably most likely done. Another great example of how you can easily get infected, it's just as simple as typing Google Chrome one day on a new computer that you just bought and clicking on the first link, which I assume, I'm just guessing, but for the amount of time that this was up, they probably got a lot of victims. And if they were spreading a botnet or something, well, they don't really care that the site is down now. They already have the computers. And you can say it was blacklisted by Chrome and probably by Edge now as well. But that's the thing, right? Everything gets blacklisted eventually. The problem is, by the time it doesn't matter. And a dedicated AV is obviously going to be much more ahead of the curve in terms of timing than, let's say, your browser. Not always, but usually. However, now that the site is down, Microsoft's Edge is now, again, the best browser to download Chrome. That joke never gets old. Although, the way Chrome is going, it's probably not legitimately a bad argument to use Edge these days. But I'm not going to get down that rabbit hole. It's going to enrage everyone in the comments, which I've already done, but let's move on. Google acquires farcetotal. A lot of you probably saw this coming from a long way away. It's not like farcetotal and Google have been very separate for the last 5 or 8 years. They already used the APIs and they had a lot of Google integration, but now I guess Google officially owns farcetotal. They obviously indicate this all-loving, nice alphabet that has decided to save farcetotal. Again, like the way they put it, it's kind of funny. It sounds like they were doing them a favor by buying them, which could be the case, but the terms of the deal are not exactly disclosed, so there's no way to know. Google could obviously have long-term intentions that are not clear right now. We're getting used to hearing this pattern of news these days, right? Microsoft acquired GitHub. Getting back to more threat-related news, fake Elon Musk Twitter Bitcoin scam made a ton of money in a day. And I'll be completely honest with you, when I first saw the post on Twitter, I was genuinely confused for at least like 30 seconds. Only when I read the details of what was the deal, I figured out, oh yeah, this is a scam. And then I check, yeah, they've just hacked a lot of accounts. But I'm sure a lot of users fell for it, as the numbers indicate. And if you haven't seen this, essentially, there would be a lot of tweets, many looking like this, with Elon Musk's picture and everything, and even like the verification thing. Obviously, if you're very familiar with Twitter, you can probably spot it, but it's kind of hard for a lot of users. It would say something like, I'm giving away 10,000 Bitcoin to the community, and you just have to participate in this giveaway. Once you click on that and go to the page, you would actually be given an offer of something like this. To verify your Bitcoin address, you first need to send 0.1 Bitcoin to this address, and then you're going to get 10 times the amount or 20 times the amount back. It's like the traditional phishing scam, right? Give me $50 so that I can pay the fees to give you $5 million that you own. Well, guess what? Somebody who has 5 million can probably pay the 50. But this was a lot more subtle, and I think that's why a lot of people fell for it. I don't particularly blame them because the tweets were actually retweeted by a lot of hacked Twitter accounts, many of them being legit sources. For example, I think they hacked into NDMA India, so the National Disaster Management Authority, and even they tweeted out, Elon, you're the best person I've ever seen in my life. I sent 0.3 BTC and got 6 BTC back. Amazing, right? India better step up their cybersecurity game. It's not good. But this was not the only account, of course. And if you saw tweets like that, I mean, some of them were a bit more legit looking than this one, particularly. I mean, this is just silly. But if you did see a verified Twitter account essentially backing a tweet like this up, a lot of people are going to take that as evidence that this is actually genuine. Social engineering strikes again. Meanwhile, ransomware has been bringing in profits at a really good rate, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of threats like GanCrab that have actually been decrypted are continuing to make money, and this is really sad. Security researchers put so much effort and they actually managed to release a decryptor, but the decryptor isn't as popular as the ransomware. I know it's repeated very often that if you're attacked by ransomware, there's not much you can do to recover your data. You just have to back up and move on, and that's not very helpful to people who actually need the data back. And I guess part of that is responsible for statistics like this. So I'm going to redirect everyone to the video where I talk about how to remove malware in 2018, because I do talk in that video for a good length about what to do if you're attacked by ransomware, and I don't just say, go and back up your data. So you definitely want to check out sites like No More Ransom, go to the different AV websites. A lot of them release their own decryptors. Try everything before you give up, because it is possible that the ransomware variant that you were attacked by has already been decrypted. Some ransomware just wipes your data, so I would strongly recommend posting on forums like Bleeping Computer is a good one, and letting someone who is more experienced with ransomware actually look at your files, and they can probably tell you whether or not the ransomware is decryptable. That is kind of going to conclude the security talk. This is more of an experimental episode, so let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you want to see more. Before I go though, I have a nice conclusion from Twitter. Every website in 2018. Let's go ahead and watch this. Now tell me that wasn't accurate. That was spot on. And the irony here is out of bounds, because we have all these pop-ups these days, right, telling you how websites value your privacy, and all that does is get in your way more before you actually give up your data. The result of policies being updated is usually that, yeah, you still have to give up your data. The websites still use cookies the same way they did before, it's just that you have to click a box before that can happen now, which is definitely great for the user, right? It's the same thing with ads and ad blockers. There is a lot to be said on that topic, but that is for another video. For now, I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe to the PC Security channel, check out my website if you like my content, and you can also join us on Discord, links in the description. This is Leo, thank you for watching, and as always, stay informed, stay secure.